Well, it was a fascinating interview. He had a lot to say for himself. What did you take away from that, Roy?
Well, I didn't learn anything new from it, really. You know what he was saying. I think we've all discussed many times over the last few years. Paul Pogba is a talented player, absolutely. There's no getting away from that. But I still feel he hasn't done enough at Man United. He's obviously mentioned there, he's obviously fell out with Mourinho. That was a big problem at the club. But even the last few months, we're saying now he's been a big influence. I wouldn't agree with that. I think he's playing okay and he's a good player. But I still look in some of the big crunch games United have had this year, he's not turned up. Obviously, it's not just his fault, but they lost at Leicester, which was a big cup game for him. The Man City at home didn't perform that night. So I think when Man United signed Paul Pogba, it wasn't to be playing in the Europa League or to be winning the League Cup. So I think Paul needs a bit of a reminder why he's playing for Manchester United. You know, they paid big transfer fee, big wages for the likes of him, for Man United to be competing, winning league titles in Champions League. Even this year, the Champions League, United got in a great position and they blew it. And Paul Pogba was part of that problem because they've not got over the line in the big games. And we say he's a big character and a big player, and okay, he's done brilliant with France and stuff like this, but he's not done it, for me, on a consistent basis at Manchester United.
Is that fair, Roy, when they're going through a transitional period, would you say?
Well, I'm sick of hearing that word, Mick.
But that's where, unfortunately, Man United
you could say that
right now.
You could say that now. Every time when a club is struggling, they use that word. Every club, near the top or near the bottom, there's just lots of changes. We've been discussing about Arsenal. Man United have had a settled group this year. I think they've just, again, still question marks over this group. And Paul Pogba, you know, the most important thing, I think Ollie likes him, and Ollie likes him as a player and obviously a personality. And that's why you're thinking he's got a year left in his contract. It's going to be a big sum of what Man United do with him.
I think he's world class. I think he comes with the tag of being a little bit out there because of the social media sort of thing, and that's the modern day player. But they're a better team with him in it. I think he's got a year left at the end of the season. I'd be looking to tie him down as soon as possible. I think it's helped the fact that Fernandes has come into his game and he's took the pressure away from him just a little bit. I think they're still trying to find his best position. Against Spurs, he started on the left and then came to the right. Ended up in all sorts of positions. When he was at Juventus, when I played against him, he was playing like a left of a diamond. And genuinely, he's one of the best players I've played against. It frustrates me. I agree with that, Roy. He's frustrating. But I believe if Man United was to invest in the right players at the right times, Man United can be a force and there'll be a better team with him in it.
Listen, again, we'd be sitting here all day. He's a talented player.
Well, does he make them a better team?
I think he does contribute to the team. There's no getting away from it. But if you're talking about world class, I think the world class players make the players around him better. I don't think he does that. I don't think he has that effect on Man United. We're talking about these crunch games that Man United have spoke about. And I don't necessarily mean today, but the Leicester, quarter-final of the FA Cup, Man United, we can expect Man United to be competing at this level. Man City home, the League Cup. I'm looking at him going, even when things aren't going well, does he dig his team out of it? Does he get everybody going? Does he produce? To me, the answer is still no.
Would you be fighting to keep him then, with a year to go on his contract?
Well, yeah, he's a talent, because obviously with the year left in his contract, there's a business side to it. Of course, they'll want to get him tied up. They certainly won't want him leaving on a free next year. So it's an important summer coming up to Ollie. If they get over the line in the Europa League and he's happy with Ollie, yeah, I think a deal could be done. But obviously he's got an agent. He might be looking at, listen, he will have other options. There's no getting away from that, because there's a shortage of talented players out there. And he is talented, but do I sit there and think, well, if Pogba's at Man United, he will get Man United back to winning league titles? The answer is no, because I don't see him making other players better. I mean, I think that's what the brilliant players do, and I've been fortunate enough to play with brilliant players. I think he's a talented boy, but do I see him as that type of character that will drag Man United along when they're up against it? And the evidence suggests in his few years at Man United, he hasn't been able to do that. He hasn't. The results will tell you that.
He also talks there about winning trophies as being the next thing that this team has to do, and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer said the same in the last week or two as well. You've been in that position, Mike, with Manchester City. What impact could one trophy have on this group that have had a couple of barren years?
It'd be massive, because if you look at the atmosphere with the players now, they just look way happier. And you know, I've always told you I'm a big fan of Mourinho, but what he does, he calls people out publicly, whereas Ollie, he doesn't. And you can see the improvement with Luke Shaw. Look at him, he's one of the best fullbacks in the league now because he's got an arm around him. And I believe Cavani is, I won't say a problem, but there's talks about not wanting to stay. If they sort out that number 9 position, if they get another centre-back and they get a midfielder, Man United can be genuine contenders for the league, but they need to keep Fernandes and they need to keep Pogba. And this is me talking from Man City. These are good players. I just think every time it comes to transfer window, like just go do it. Just go get the quality that's out there. Don't wait. Just go get the quality.
But you can't keep saying, again, we do interviews there and he's saying he didn't like Mourinho and he now likes Ollie. It's not necessarily about liking your manager. It's about going out and doing the business week in, week out. Week in, week out. Not every few months. So this idea that he loves Ollie, that doesn't guarantee you trophies.
Yeah, no, it doesn't.
It's about respecting your manager.
It gives you more confidence to say, well, I'll go run through a brick wall for you. If someone, Mancini did it to me, he called me Swarovski, he called me Glass, when I think, but we had a good relationship where he could do that to me and I wouldn't take offence to that. But other players are not like that. They're a bit more sensitive. And when someone outs you in the public, it's not nice. I'm not saying that's going to win you trophies, but it'll build up a better relationship between you and the manager if he's going to put you around. If you're
going to start comparing Ollie to Mourinho and personality, of course, it's chalk and cheese. They're different.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, I like to look at Mourinho's CV. I like to.
Well, I'm a big fan of Mourinho.
And I love the way everyone says, well, the manager's upsetting players. That's your job. Managers used to upset me all the time. But the whole idea is you put that to the side. He's talking about his stuff with Mourinho. You put that to the side. You're simply for Man United. Whatever happens on a Saturday, Tuesday when you're playing, whatever you think you're a manager, and I've been there with managers.
But has there got to be some nuance with that, Roy? That some players do need it, as Micah says, a bit of an arm around them, and some others need this stick.
Of course, and listen, managers are entitled to make mistakes. I'm sure if Mourinho was sitting here, he'd go, well, maybe I got it wrong with Pogba, maybe on certain occasions, like all the great managers did. I played under great managers, Brian Clough, Alex Ferguson, and they made mistakes. But sometimes you have to kind of say, just get on with it. And as I said, it's not as if Pogba's been there 12 months. He's been there 3 or 4 years at Man United, and they've not exactly been competing to win the big trophies. And when Man United signed Pogba, it wasn't to be playing in the Europa League and to be trying to win the League Cup.
That's not his fault, is it?
Well, he's part of the problem. Well, he's out there playing. He's come for big money, big reputations. We're seeing the interviews. He's saying, I've come to win big trophies. Well, do it. Do it against Man City at home in the League Cup. Do it against Leicester away. It's...
How close are they, do you think?
I think they have a bit to go yet, Man United. I think the issue is that I think they've made great progress this year, considering the start they had to the season where they're really poor, particularly at home. And Ollie, again, is getting a lot of plaudits. But it's getting over the line. It's competing next year and getting closer to Man City. Last year, obviously, Liverpool were brilliant. Ollie's up. Whatever you say about the Premier League, there's some world-class managers in there. All these teams will be looking to improve. To me, there's still too many question marks over this United team. Great progress, but the next step is going to be the biggest and the hardest step for Man United.
I'd agree with that.
Get the feeling it's going to be a big summer ahead.
It is. And I don't want to name names, but there's so many number 9s out there. Just go and get the job done. Stop messing around. If they want to compete, just go and get the job done. It's as simple as that. Don't mess around, because that's why you talk about you want to win trophies. Well, do the business. If you invest the money on the right player, you will win trophies. Simple as that.
Recruitment for Man United. And there's been changes in the background upstairs with director of football and a new technical director. Let's see these lads step up to the plate and get the right players, and just important, I always say, the right characters for Man United.